Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing a pen from Roncari Pens. Rod Roncari is an Australian pen maker based in Victoria, and he very kindly sent me a couple of pens to review. So I'm doing this one now, and then in a couple of months I'll be doing another one which I'll also be giving away. A big thank you to Rod for his amazing support. This is how the pen comes packaged, open up, and it's a simple, black pen box, and the pen will sit in there. Very nice and simple and clean. I like that a lot. But what Rod does is very special, and this pen is quite amazing. This is a hybrid pen from Rod Roncari, and it's a hybrid of a beautiful red Marlborough wood and resin, and there's sort of black and gold and purple mixed into the resin. The wood comes from Western Australia, and the pigments used in the acrylic are from Eye Candy Pigments in the USA. Rod makes these pens by hand, obviously, casts it himself. Amazing work. So top of the pen is sort of like a slightly domed end. The cap swells and then tapers ever so slightly. You get a little step down onto the barrel, and the barrel swells ever so slightly and then tapers down to this beautifully polished domed end. In fact, the entire pen is beautifully polished and finished. It's just a remarkable looking pen. The cap comes off, screws off, and reveals a step down onto some threads, and then a lovely section, and then a steel number 6 Bock nib. And I think the aesthetic of this pen is absolutely remarkable. It's absolutely beautiful. It is a cartridge converter pen, and it comes with a converter, standard international, and all the threads are beautifully cut. It's lovely and smooth, and it's a lovely size pen in the hand. So the star of this pen, I think, is the workmanship and the material. It's a fairly straightforward design, but absolutely beautiful. Let's just take another second just to look at that material. Isn't that absolutely lovely? For the size comparison today, I've got it alongside the traditional Lamy Safari here. Seems a shame to be putting this beautiful custom handmade Australian pen alongside the Safari, but it's a great way of just indicating the size. You can see it's a bigger pen. It's much longer there than the Safari. Uncapped, that continues to be a lot bigger, and of course that number 6 size nib dwarfs the Lamy nib. Now the hybrid pen model from Roncari Pens does not post, so the Lamy has it in that, but I think the Roncari is definitely big enough to use unposted. The dimensions of this pen is 157 millimeters when it's capped. It's 148 when it is uncapped. So it's a big, solid sized pen in the hand. And as I said, it doesn't post. The section is about 11 millimeters, and around the cap at its widest point is about 17. So it's a really solid size pen. It weighs 32 grams, 23 in the body and 9 in the cap. So you're writing with a 23-gram pen. Okay, let's do a writing sample now with the Roncari Pens. We'll just call it the hybrid. With a steel Bock. I think it's a medium nib. Lovely, lovely pen. The ink, I should say, is Robert Oster. So an Australian ink and an Australian pen. It's one of my favorites from back when I first got into Robert Oster. It was maroon in 1789. Really beautiful ink. And I actually think there's a lot in this pen's body that sort of matches in well with this sort of color scheme. I couldn't help but put this ink in here. This pen writes so beautifully. I'm not always a fan of Bock nibs, but I think this one is really, really nice. It's virtually had no tuning done on it. I haven't done anything on it, so it's as it writes. Quick writing. No issues at all. Beautiful writer, smooth, does the job. Reverse writing is doable, and I don't find any sort of softness or flex in this standard Bock nib. This is a really lovely pen. Not only is it a beautiful artisan piece, and it is a work of art, the quality of the workmanship and the quality of the detail in creating this pen is amazing. Not only is it that, but it is beautifully functional. It writes so well, and to me, that's just as important, even more important than how a pen looks. So this one is just like smashing it out of the park on every front. So this pen retails for $275 to $300. Now, obviously, you are getting a custom-made pen here. The hours of work actually going into, casting the materials, shaping the pen, turning it, polishing, fixing it up, all that kind of stuff. A huge amount of work goes into these custom pens, and they are works of art. You are buying a work of art that is also a pen, and in this case, a very lovely pen to write with. Rod Roncari makes beautiful pens. Just for the sake of the record, here is the one I am reviewing in a few months' time. This beautiful timber pen. This is one I'll be giving away, so keep an eye out for that review. These are just beautiful pens. Absolutely lovely. So he really knows what he's doing. He makes beautiful, beautiful pens. So that $275 to $300 price point, I think, is very, very reasonable. Very reasonable. So what are the pros and cons of a pen like this? Well, con-wise, any custom pen is going to come with a higher price point, and there will be wait times and all that kind of stuff. But the beauty of that is that you get to deal with the artist who is making the pen. You can email Rod. I'll link his details below so you can get in touch with him. But you can talk about the details, you can talk about the shape, the colors, the materials, all that kind of thing. And that's what's really lovely about having a custom pen. And for me, having Australian pen makers, using their pens, that is really nice, sort of to tie all of that in together. Other cons are that there is a bit of a step down off the barrel, but that is part of the something that you can't avoid with a pen of this sort of shape, but you don't necessarily feel it because the section's nice and long, and also, of course, the pen doesn't post and doesn't have a roll stop. So just things to keep in mind. Pros though, as I said, beautiful material, beautiful workmanship, like insanely beautiful workmanship. It's just absolutely stunning. The combination of the acrylics and the woods in this and that sort of hybrid sort of resin in there, absolutely stunning. So really, it writes well. It's got a great size in the hand. The polish and the finish is amazing. There's just so much going for this pen, and I think it's for what you get, I think it's at a really reasonable price point as well. So a big thank you to Rod for sending this pen out for me to review here. And I said another model which I will be reviewing later in the year and giving away. Please check out his social media and stuff, which is all linked down below. Beautiful pens. Get in touch with him, see what he can do for you. A big thank you to you for watching and for liking and subscribing, all of that kind of stuff. It all helps the algorithm and helps me to continue to grow my channel and make better videos for you. So if you would like to support the channel in some way, I would love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments below. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.